Welcome on another episode of Creators Corner. I'm your host, James Dale, and with me is the international DETOX Boss. Talk to your people then.
Love and prosperity going out internationally. Well, I'm DETOX Boss representing health and representing alkaline. We're representing knowledge with expand. So trust me, if you guys want to know more, stick around. I mean, the brother you're telling me. Right?
We are here in location in Jamaica, Ocho Rios, Jamaica, live and in flesh. You know? So I'm going to ask you a few questions now.
Go ahead,
right?
Man.
How did you start getting into liberty, natural living, herbs, and so forth?
All right. First of all, thank you for this moment. It was a pleasure to be here. You asking me this question that I can express myself. Okay. This is my first time interviewing somebody really personally asking me this question. All right. I start this from a tender age, watching my grandfather doing herbs, using herbs, healing in many ways. So during the process of that, leaving from in the city of St. Catherine to the hills to my grandfather every summer, spend time with him in the valley and the bushes, watching him using the herbs them and knowing the herbs them name. So growing up as a man now, I draw attention more when I recognize the people are using herbs, doing more healing when I was away abroad. So familiar with the herbs, them, knowing the herbs, them, I get acquainted with a white man named Mr. Choclair. And from there, it was like great expansion. I just keep learning. This is where I am now, with learning. So this is how I started. I started from my grandfather. And from there on, I learned a lot from Dr. Sebi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Dr. Sebi, it gives me more influence and give me more energy to go forward. And yes, I done it. And honestly, it's a miracle happening now, which is natural.
That's a good
as we
thing.
say before.
So from the first stage when you said you got introduced to the herbs from your grandfather till now, how many years is that?
Well, the 10th of July, speaking of the 2005 here, now speaking, this year I'm going to be 48 years old. Mm-hmm. And speaking of doing this from a tender age, I know herbs from when I was 12 years old, recognize herbs from 12, 13, knowing the looks and the image of herbs. So from a tender age, telling you, knowing the herbs then, I get acquainted by knowing the herbs and then I start to know the benefit of the herbs and by growing up. Where there's a time in my teenager age where we just have the knowledge of it, but not paying no mind. But when I went away, 1999, there was a shock of me when I started recognized out in the world. When I went to Aruba, there I see like, okay, this need to pay attention to. So I was always having hope that when I go home, this is going to be my dream. This is going to be my lifestyle for the rest of my life. So this is where I am now. Continue as you're speaking. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're self-taught. You didn't go to university or nothing to get no certification, no license or anything.
I get taught from the people. I learn from the people while through my experience. As I say, experience teacheth knowledge. Mm-hmm. This is all my knowledge grew by years from a tender age, from 12 to 13. So I never go through no form of diplomacy, no form of what I done, I study on my own, I do research. Well, as I say, where do I advance on my knowledge more? When I recognize Dr. Sebi, then now in Jamaica now, then I realize that I have the herbs in here. So there is from where experience, teacher, knowledge, as I say before, I keep practicing, doing over and over and over till I get a perfectness to where I am now. And yet still, I'm still researching, still studying, because you can never stop.
Yeah, life ends when you stop learning. When you stop learning.
So physical, that's what I'm trying to say.
So based off of what you're saying is that knowledge increased from the elders in our culture.
Exactly.
It come back to the history of our people.
Exactly.
We learn things from oral tradition,
Exactly.
from the griot, who learn things from generation, and then pass
Exactly.
down the recipe,
You know what I
then
mean?
pass down the tradition, everything. And from my opinion, that is lost in
Exactly.
our culture.
So as we were saying before,
Mhm.
on the way coming from the city, I was telling that the culture of even we own Jamaican people, it lost and it increased more sickness in the population.
Mhm.
So what I am trying to do in the future go forward is to bring back health in our fashion way where we have it as a lifestyle back.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's not there anymore. So that's what I recognize. This is where I come fill in, where I can play a role to bring back the culture, bring back the healing. Because as the father say, herbs are the healing of the nation. So it's what you eat
Mhm.
is what you give the body, is what the body gives back to you. So what you give the body, alkaline or acid.
Mhm.
So this is where we at now. As you say, as we grow, knowledge increase, and every day I learn.
As a kid growing up, I hear the term bakawa when
Yeah.
persons do tonic and so forth. Then I go a doctor for certain thing. You go out and
Exactly.
get that tonic and so
Yeah,
forth. If you
well,
have certain ailments, instead of go
exactly.
and getting medicine,
Ex-
you'll get some bush to sort out certain things. Your grandmother and your grandfather
it's
will send you for do certain things. So that term, my question to you is the term bakawa. How do you feel when I say the term bakawa?
Well, say terms Bakawa,
Mhm.
I put it as the foundation.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And the foundation is something that laid. If you don't go back to the foundation and put it together or repeat a foundation what is strong before, it don't make sense you start a new one where it's not properly done. So this is where the Bakawa comes as a foundation. As we say, as example, as we go forward, we just say back what my grandfather say back in the days. We say if you heard hurting you, he would tell you go pick some dandelion or go get some um, stinging nettle. You know what I mean? Yes, still, I used to wonder why he tell me to get these herbs, but he know what he's doing. If the head hurt you again, he find out the herbs to tell it. Depends on how the situation catch you. If it's a more painful, you say, okay, go for Guinean weed. You make it inhale it. If you get a cut, he tell you go pick fresh cut. Here's a herbs that fresh cut. So there, back in the days, was like, yeah, that was the culture. I mean, that was God. The herbs.
Everything is God.
Yeah.
Like we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
If you do anything in life and you don't put the Almighty first, you are bound to fail.
Exactly.
So my message to you out there in most of the episodes that I have and most of the interviews, I always give glory to the Most High.
It's a
Right.
must.
And I'm standing here with our next Rasta man, Earth man, right?
Mhm.
Herbs man. Yeah. And the Almighty, the Most High, is something that we put in everything. It's our intention. It's a purpose, right? So, you are internationally known. Tell the people where they could find you on
Well,
social media.
Trust me, you can find me on DETOX Boss, also Facebook DETOX Boss, or you can follow me on YouTube, DETOX Boss Lifestyle. And trust me, you will learn a lot. As you can see me here, I'm very physically fit, strong in mind, and I never lose hope because that is the health. You know what I mean? It's to believe in yourself. And the earth is the fullness. Where is we? We're right here. So thank you for this moment. It's a blessing. I hope this interview changed someone's life out there. You know what I mean?
And on that note, I'm your host, James Dale. This is Creators Corner. Tune in to the next episode. And this is DETOX Boss. Go check him on TikTok and all the social media. So, brother,
Peace and love, man.
give thanks, yeah?
Thank you for coming to Jamaica.
All right, man.
It's a blessing. It's a peace and love to the world. One love.
See you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in